Okay, our first step for making a timecode dub from one of the archive folders is to find the archive hard drive, put it in one of the docking stations, turn it on, and mount it onto the computer. And there you go. Once the hard drive mounts, go ahead and open it and look for the archive you want to make a timecode dub from. And each one of these folders represents a tape, even though they're not all from tapes. This is from an HDV tape. When capturing these, you'll end up with a bunch of QuickTime movies like this. AVCHD files will have a private file inside, and that's where all your movies will be. Next, we'll open Premiere. Here you can start a new file or open up an old one. We're not going to save this file. We're just going to make a timecode dub of the tape and forget Premiere after that. So here you can choose. And so we're all looking at the same thing. Go to Window, Workspace, Editing. And we should all have the same windows in the same arrangement at the same time. Step 1, find the Project tab. And it's right here. Click it to select that window. Now at the bottom of this window, there's a few icons here, and you want to click the folder icon to give you a brand new bin. Now you want to name this bin exactly the way the archive folder is named for the tape that you want to make a timecode dub from. So we're going to use this tape folder called 120410 Clearwater Boats. And so we're just going to select that twice to select the text and then copy or file or edit copy just to get all that text. Then we'll get rid of that, come back into that bin, select it, and edit paste. Now it's named exactly as the archive folder. The next step is to import all those QuickTime files from the archive folder into this bin. And this is outside the root of the bin. If we brought it in here, they wouldn't be in the bin. So double-clicking the bin opens the bin, and now we can import directly into this bin. So with this bin open, switch tabs over here next to the Project tab to the Media Browser tab. And here on the left, you'll see all the hard drives that are mounted on the computer. And here's our media archive, and here's our Clearwater Boats file. So if I click this to highlight it, to select it, you're going to see on the right all the thumbnails for all those clips load up in this media browser. Here's a list view. Back to the thumbnail view. Click the first one to select it, and then go on Apple Command A or Windows Control A to select all of these clips. Then simply right-click on the first one and choose Import. There, so once the import is complete, we'll leave the Media Browser tab and go back to the Project tab, and that should put us right back into that bin. Now all the QuickTime files are in the bin, and they should all be in alphabetical order. So with this bin set to list view now, I want to select the first clip, and then like before, Command A or Control A to select all. So they're all selected now. And now you putting your cursor on the first clip, right click and choose New Sequence from Clip. And what's going to happen is all of the selected clips are going to load up in order in the timeline. There's your timecode dub right there, that whole entire sequence. Okay, the next step is to rename this sequence. Putting all those in the timeline created a sequence here. And we want to name this exactly the same as the folder on the archive hard drive, which is exactly the same name of the bin that we brought all the clips into. So we'll just highlight this and I'll just delete. It's usually named after the first clip anyway, so most of the name is already there. I'm just going to add timecode dub at the end of the sequence name. With the clips in the timeline all ready to go, we need to put a timecode generator on each clip. To do that, we find the Effects tab. In the Effects tab, we go to Video Effects, scroll all the way down to Video, and you'll see the timecode generator. So to put the timecode generator and add it to all the clips, just select them all. You can click, hold, and drag, or being in the timeline itself in that window, you can do the Command A to select all also. And with all of the clips selected, simply drag the timecode generator and drop it on any clip, and it'll be applied to all clips. So there's your timecode, and this timecode applies to the actual original tape timecode. It's different from the timecode that's here in the timeline. They don't necessarily need to match. This timecode was put in from the recording camera, and this is the timecode you'll use when writing your story, picking out shots, picking out sound bites. And that's what you want for logging. Now all that's left is to export a QuickTime movie of your timecode dub. So Command M will open up the export dialog box. You want to turn it to H.264, and you want to scroll all the way down to YouTube Standard Def Widescreen. Now the reason for this is because we don't need high quality. These are HD video clips, but for a timecode dub, it doesn't need to be HD. And here's the name, and you can click on this name right here to find an output location for your timecode dub. And one more thing is go down a little farther and click on this video tab, scroll down to bitrate settings, and change the variable bitrate 2 pass to 1 pass. The only reason for this is to make it quicker, because we don't need a high quality for a timecode dub. That's just to log it and write a story off of it. When we edit, we're going to use the full res, but if you put it 1 pass, it's going to be much quicker. Make sure to choose entire sequence for the duration, then simply hit the Q button. Media encoder will open up, and the next step is simply to push the play button, and off it goes. Go have a cup of coffee. When you come back, your timecode dub should be finished.